There is a runoff election taking place in the state of Mississippi between the Republican Senate candidate Sidney Hyde-Smith and also the Democratic candidate Mike Epstein. Now, this specific race is drawing a lot of attention, not just because there will be a special election taking place on November 27th, but because of some things that we've learned about Cindy Hyde-Smith. Now, what have we learned? Well, there were some controversial stories written about her following her statements about public hangings. And we're gonna show you the video so you can hear what she had to say about it. Take a look.
She told a supporter in Tupelo over the sound of a train this.
So for those of you who are listening to the audio version of the show, she said if I was invited to a public hanging, or if he invited me to a public hanging, I would be front row. Some have interpreted that as a racist remark, indicating that she would like to see lynchings. I'm gonna be honest with the audience, I don't agree with her politics 100%, but I did feel like that was making a bit of an assumption about what she meant. Now, Mississippi is, pro-death penalty, and so it wouldn't surprise me that a Republican candidate would say something like that. If she had specifically said lynching, then it would be different. And to be clear, majority of people who have been executed and lynched, of course, in the state of Mississippi have been black. So I can understand why people would make that jump.
Yeah, Mississippi has a horrible history of lynchings, and that's why people make that assumption. But I'm with you. I mean, she might just be in favor of public hangings overall. So make of that what you will.
Now, there have been some updates, including the discovery of a Facebook post featuring the candidate wearing a Confederate hat. The photo was taken during a trip to the Jefferson Davis house in Mississippi. In a Facebook post about the trip, Hyde-Smith wrote that the museum is, quote, Mississippi history at its best. And she posted several photos that appear to be celebratory, to say the least.
Yeah, I actually think this is much worse. I know that a lot of conservatives in the South think that this is perfectly normal. It isn't. That's the Confederacy that betrayed a country. I don't know if you know the name of the country. It's called the United States of America. They betrayed us, they launched a war against us, they killed far more Americans than Al-Qaeda ever did. She's touring the Jefferson Davis home and presidential library in Biloxi. He was the president of a country, of a fake country that attacked us and that killed our Union soldiers. So it's like going to Osama bin Laden's presidential library. Bin Laden only killed 3,000 Americans. The Confederacy killed far more Americans. So putting on their hat, to me, is like, look, there are a lot of wonderful people in the world wear turbans, so that's not even a fair comparison. But if you somehow had an Al-Qaeda turban and you put that on, like, hey, and then you had like some sort of Kalashnikov rifle that Bin Laden was holding, and if you think that's harsh, you're wrong. The Confederacy attacked us. It launched a war against America. Hundreds of thousands of people died. More Americans died in that war than any other war. And going and celebrating their president at his so-called presidential library, putting on a Confederate hat is gross. And it's unpatriotic, by the way, and also un-American.
And we all know what the main issue was when it came to the Civil War and why the Confederates fought the Union. It was over slavery. And so given the fact that she is very openly celebrating Confederates, I can understand why people would take her public hanging comments and think that she's referring to blacks being lynched in the state of Mississippi.
Well, one last thing. Yeah. So I was in Charleston, South Carolina recently, and I went to a museum that was a former slave market. And it was, so there's nothing wrong with going to museums, and you want to go to this, the house of this traitor and spit on the ground, that's fine. Don't do anything physical, but you want to look at it as like some sort of ghoulish, horrible thing that killed all those Americans, that's fine, it's a museum, it's history, right? But putting on the Confederate hat, when I went to the slave auction, I was horrified by what had happened down in South Carolina. I didn't take the slave master's whip and take a picture with it, and that's what she did. So look, I know that a lot of people in Mississippi are comfortable with that. All right, I guess they're going to vote for her. But if you're not comfortable with that, if you prefer America as opposed to a country that attacked us, then I guess you'd vote for her opponent.
Now, Hyde-Smith was defiant and refused to apologize for her statements until she had a debate with her opponent, Mike Epsy, and then she kind of apologized. I don't know, take a look.
Anyone that was offended by my comments, I certainly apologize. There was no ill will, no intent whatsoever in my statements. I also recognize that this comment was twisted and it was turned into a weapon to be used against me, a political weapon used for nothing but personal and political gain by my opponent. That's the type of politics Mississippians are sick and tired of.
Okay, so in other words, she did not apologize at all. She played the victim and pretended as though this is just character assassination. Although she's the one who put all this out there. She's the one who put this on her Facebook page. She's the one who talked about. By the way, even if it has nothing to do with race, the fact that you would love to be front and center during a hanging, come on. Yeah. Who gets excited about that? Who wants to see that? I mean, that by itself, even if it has nothing to do with race, is pretty questionable.
No, and I have a literal answer to that. People get excited about public hangings. They're called pro-life people.
All right, that's true, yeah.
Okay, and so of course Trump jumps in.
So Cindy Hyde-Smith is a spectacular woman. She's a great senator. She came in. She's done a fantastic job in a short period of time. She made a statement which I know that she feels very badly about it, and it was just sort of said in jest, as she said, and she's a tremendous woman, and it's a shame that she has to go through this. Cindy Hyde-Smith is a tremendous woman who truly loves the people of Mississippi and our country, and I think she's going to win.
She doesn't love the people of this country. She loves the people of a country that attacked us. So I know now we're unified again, and that's great and wonderful, but maybe we should celebrate America rather than something that attacked us. Anyway, you saw the video for yourself. She didn't necessarily say it in jest, and she didn't necessarily feel terrible about it. And so Donald Trump, as usual, making stuff up. November 27th, that's next Tuesday, is the election. If you're in Mississippi, go out and vote and make a difference. Thanks for watching this free clip of the Young Turks. Don't forget to become a TYT member today. For more exclusive content, join now at tyt.com/join.